Hare Krishna. Welcome back to our YouTube channel ISKCON Blantyre, where we are discussing the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra because in 5 days' time we have Ram Navami coming up. So far we have read the ninth canto, 10th chapter. Now we are on the 11th chapter, of which we have read 17 verses. We will continue 18th onwards. Text number 18, translation. After Mother Sita entered the earth, Lord Ramachandra observed complete celibacy and performed an uninterrupted Agnihotra Yajna for 13,000 years. Text 19. After completing the sacrifice, Lord Ramachandra, whose lotus feet were sometimes pierced by thorns when he lived in Dandakaranya, placed those lotus feet in the hearts of those who always think of him. Then he entered his own abode, the Vaikuntha planet, beyond the Brahmajyoti. Purport, commentary by Srila Prabhupada. The lotus feet of the Lord are always a subject matter for meditation for devotees. Sometimes when sometimes when Lord Ramchandra wandered in the forest of Dandakaranya, thorns pricked his lotus feet. The devotees, upon thinking of this, would faint. The Lord does not feel pain or pleasure from any action or reaction of this material world. But the devotees cannot tolerate even the pricking of the Lord's lotus feet by a thorn. This was the attitude of the gopis when they thought of Krishna wandering in the forests, with pebbles and grains of sand pricking his lotus feet. This tribulation in the heart of a devotee cannot be understood by karmis, jnanis, or yogis. The devotees who could not tolerate even thinking of the Lord's lotus feet being pricked by a thorn were again put into tribulation by thinking of the Lord's disappearance. For the Lord had to return to his abode after finishing his pastimes in the material world. The word Atma Jyoti is significant. The Brahma Jyoti, which is greatly appreciated by the Jnanis or monist philosophers who desire to enter for liberation, is nothing but the rays of the Lord's body. यस्य प्रभाप्रभवतो जगदण्डकोटि कोटिरशेषु विशुधाति विभूतिभिन्नम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलम् अनन्तम् अशेषभूतम् गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तम् aham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is endowed with great power. The glowing effulgence of his transcendental form is the impersonal Brahman, which is absolute, complete, and unlimited, and which displays varieties of countless planets, with their different opulences, in millions and millions of universes. Brahma Samhita 540. The Brahma Jyoti is the beginning of the spiritual world, and beyond the Brahma Jyoti are Vaikuntha planets. In other words, the Brahma Jyoti stays outside the Vaikuntha planets, just as the sunshine stays outside the sun. To enter the sun planet, one must go through the sunshine. Similarly, when the Lord or his devotees enter the Vaikuntha planets, they go through the Brahmajyoti. The Gyanis or monists, philosophers, because of their impersonal conception of the Lord, cannot enter the Vaikuntha planets, but they also cannot stay eternally in Brahmajyoti. Thus, after some time, they fall again to this material world. आरुह्य कृच्छेन परम padam tata patanti adho anu yasmadhangraya. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, 2nd chapter, 32 verse. The Vaikuntha planets are covered by Brahma Jyoti, and therefore one cannot properly understand what those Vaikuntha planets are unless one is a pure devotee. Yes, very long purport, very long commentary by Prabhupada. I have picked some points, so we will discuss a little bit and then we'll move on to the next verse. This said, the purport or the commentary started taking from the translation that the Lord's lotus feet. So Lord is a personality, is a person. That's why there are feet. General conception is God has no form, so there is no question of feet. But here there is a question of feet. And the general understanding of the world is God and human. Human have a form, and the form is painful. There's always pain, backache, headache, toothache, everything is paining with time. There's nobody who is not in pain ever. There's at least once in your lifetime you feel pain. So when you have the material body, you have pain. Pain means suffering. Suffering of birth, old age, disease, and death. And if we say that God has form, which means God also goes through the pain and suffering and birth, death, old age, and disease. That's why the other conceptions of religiosity does not believe in God having a form. They say God has no form because if God has form, He'll be suffering like us. So what's the difference between God and us? But what they don't understand here is how Prabhupada is explaining God's body and God are not different. It's all divine. He does not feel pleasure or pain. He does pastimes. He just, enjoying with his devotees. And in that, if he has to act out like it's painful, he will act out like it is painful. If he has to act out like it is a very pleasurable event, he will act like that. But the Lord does not feel because he does not have a material body, he's got an all spiritual body. That's what other religiosity, sects don't understand that God has form, but it is not like us. It may be looking like us, but it is like not like us because we are suffering birth, old age, disease, and death. But the Lord comes by his own, you know, power, own will. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a word called Atma Maya. The Lord comes according to his own Maya, according to his own, will. There's a difference between God and human. Both have form, but God's form is totally spiritual. The devotees also know this, that God's form is very divine and he does not feel pain or pleasure. But because the devotee is personally connected to the Lord. So just by thinking that, oh, my Lord is walking on barefoot in the forest, which means there are thorns, there are small pebbles, there are pointed small pebbles which will hurt the Lord. Just by thinking of that, he feels so much pain. Just like how we see that the mother is always, taking care of the child, making sure the child is wearing proper shoes, or else, the same thing, pebbles will hurt her and hurt him, but then they will hurt her more because she has got so much love. So similarly, the devotee has so much love for the Lord that, even though the Lord does not feel pain, the devotee feels pain. Oh my Lord, please don't walk on the thorns. It's very painful. It's very painful for us to think that, you are getting hurt or you're getting pained. It's just a matter of feeling. It's not that the devotee does not know. The devotee knows, but also in the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, at one place it is said that the Lord covers over the knowledge of the devotee so that he can experience the love. If the devotee knows, okay, he's the supreme personality of God, that he can do everything, then there will be no service because if he's supreme Lord, he can do his own thing. He can get his own milk. He can feed himself. He can dress himself. He can bathe himself. But because the Lord Himself, He covers over this knowledge of the devotee is now think, oh my Lord, oh he's hungry, you have to feed him. Mother Yashoda used to always feel like that. Oh my son, he's been in the forest grazing the cows for the whole day. Now he must be hungry. I must make this for him, make that for him. So she used to make all the arrangements. So yes, devotee knows, but the Lord Himself, takes away that knowledge or covers away that knowledge so that he can experience the love. So now we will go to the next verse and see what it says. Text number 20, translation. Lord Ramachandra's reputation for having killed Ravan with showers of arrows at the request of the demigods and for having built the bridge over the ocean does not constitute the factual glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra, whose body is always engaged in various pastimes, whose spiritual body, sorry. Lord Ramachandra has no equal or superior, and therefore he has no need to take help from the monkeys to gain victory over Ravan. As stated in the Svetaswara Upanishad, न तस्य कार्यं करणं च विद्यते न तत्समश्चाभिधिकार्यदृश्यते पराशक्तिर्विविधैव श्रूयते स्वाभाविकी ज्ञानबलक्रिया च. The Supreme Lord has nothing to do, and no one is found to be equal to or greater than him. For everything is done naturally and systematically by his multifarious energies. The Lord has nothing to do. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. Whatever he does is his pastime. The Lord has no duty to perform, to oblige anyone. Nonetheless, he appears to act to protect his devotees or kill his enemies. Of course, no one can be Lord's enemy, since who could be more powerful than the Lord? There is actually no question of anyone's being his enemy. But when the Lord wants to take pleasure in his pastimes, he comes down to this material world and acts like a human being, thus showing his wonderful, glorious activities to please the devotees. His devotees always want to see the Lord victorious in varied activities, and therefore to please him, sorry, and therefore to please himself and them, the Lord sometimes agrees to act as the human being and perform uncommon pastimes for the satisfaction of the devotees. Yes, we see how the Lord has nothing to do. He doesn't have to do anything because He's God. He has so many energies, and they are doing their job. And the Lord's only duty is to enjoy with His devotees. I have made some notes, so we will refer to them. The Lord has nothing to do. He doesn't have to go to the office. We don't see, Lord Krishna or Lord Ram or any of the incarnations, jumping in the car and sitting in the traffic to get to office so that, they can earn something or, maybe be a boss of somebody, be a CEO or CFO or country head or whatever it may be. The Lord doesn't have to do that because He has appointed all these demigods, the devatas, to run the cosmic energies or cosmic creation. He doesn't have to do personally anything. So the only thing he does is has fun. And in fun times, sometimes you want to uh, fight. So when the Lord wants to fight somebody, He can't come down to the material world and fight you and me. We are no match to the Lord. He can just send a flood or send a tsunami or send a cyclone, and we'll be dead in no time. He needs like proper somebody from his own team, because people from his own team know him so much better, how much strength the Lord has, how much strength I have to put to give him a good fight, and make him feel that yeah, he's enjoying. So that's why we see that how there was there were the Sanat Kumaras, the four sons of Lord Rama. They cursed the doorkeepers or the watchmen. Watchman is not a good term, but doorkeepers of Vaikunta Jai and Vijay to be to come down to the earth and be as demons for three births. So first birth was Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, which we will be discussing next month, because after Ram Navami, after a month, we have the festival of Appearance Day of Lord Narasimha Dev. So we'll discuss that time. Then second birth, they came as Ravana and Kumbhakarna, which we just discussed and we are still discussing. And the third birth during the pastimes of Lord Krishna, they came as uh, forgot his name, Shishupal and Dantavakra, which we will see in the coming months or in a year's time. So the Lord has nothing to do, but when he wants to fight, people from his planet or his place has to come, because they know the power of the Lord, and they can give good fight so the Lord can enjoy. He will not be enjoying with us. Trust me, he'll come, he'll just, he doesn't have to do anything. He just has to like punch me in my back, and my back is so weak. I've been always complaining about backache, and I'll be done. There's no fun for him. So that's why, when these demons come, they're not normal demons. They are the Lord's, parshas, staying on his planet. They know him. There was a German person who, after the World War, he was very fed up with all this killing, and also he was going around looking for God, you know, because he was so fed up with, the war and this and that. He was looking for God, and then he went to many places on earth, looking for God. And then he went to here, there, and finally he came to India. India also, he went to many, devatas to check out, he was not satisfied. And once he bumped into the Matha, or the temple of uh, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is the spiritual master of our Srila Prabhupada. And he saw, and he just kept staring at Lord Krishna. And then, this guy, Krishna, this guy, this guy, Krishna, he's God. And then, devotees asked him, how can you have that much conviction? We are doing bhakti, and we still are not, totally convinced, or else we would be doing our bhakti in full force. So he said, I have gone to many temples. Even just he was talking about India. I went to many temples, and I saw that all these deities, all these murtis in the temple have various weapons in their hand, and they're killing somebody, or they're doing some work. Durga is killing Mahishasura, Shiva is also with the weapon, and Ganesha. Everybody has some weapons. They're ready to do stuff. But when he came to Krishna, he said, "This guy is playing flute. This guy is enjoying life. He doesn't have anything to do. That's why he's God, because he has appointed all these people to do stuff for him, and he's enjoying. Like the big CEO of a company, or the owner of the company. He has appointed the CEO, CFO, everything, and he doesn't have to come to the office. He can enjoy life. We can enjoy golfing. He can enjoy, vacations. And sometimes he can just pop into the office and check out if things are going well. That's how the Lord comes to the material world. He's enjoying life, but sometimes he comes to the earth, or other planets, and checks out, okay, everything is going on how I planned. I go, cool, I'm out. So that's how it is happening Krishna is enjoying life. So yes, you know, I will read a little more. Text 21. Translation: Lord Ramachandra's spotless name and fame, which vanquish all sinful reactions, are celebrated in all the directions like the ornamental cloth of victorious elephants that conquer all directions. Greatly saint persons like Markandeya Rishi still glorify the characteristics in the assemblies of great emperors like Yudhishthir Maharaj Yudhishthir. Similarly, all saintly kings and all the demigods, including Shiva and Lord Brahma, worship the Lord by bowing down with their helmets. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. Yes, I will stop there and we will see you tomorrow with continuation from text 22 onwards. Thank you very much for joining us. Please like and subscribe and uh, increase your knowledge about God consciousness. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.